What's up, everyone? This is Bacon here, and today we are going to do a little bit of a different video. I'm not going to be focusing on one thing, but I'm going to have a few different topics I'm going to be talking about. I didn't have enough kind of meat to what I want to talk about to just have a single video for some of these things, and so I wanted to just kind of throw all these things in the video and then toss them out there. So, first thing, this video, I want to give like a little update on my main account because I really don't talk about my main account ever because I have my side one and I'm doing other videos, and so I'm going to be giving you a little update on where I am. As you can see, I just try to do some pushing with the towers, but here's where I'm at with the towers. Main one is 468, World Tree 330, Forsaken Necropolis 290, Brutal Citadel 276, and Tower of Light 289. I feel like I can probably, let's go ahead and start this on auto and see what happens. I feel like I can do better. So let's try and see what happens. So I'm gonna have this on auto. But overall, I feel like I've made pretty good progress with my trees. Obviously, my not Brutus, my Mauler tree could be better, but overall, not terrible. My main towers made pretty good progress. I feel like 468 is pretty solid. When going to my main campaign, I'm at 3516. This one, I think I could probably push a little bit farther as well. It would just take a little more intentionality with what I do with my setups. I prefer to kind of hit power spikes and then just put on auto and see how far I can go, and maybe switch it up every so often and see if it helps. But that's kind of where I'm at with that. Forked Fate, I'm also at 3730. Made a lot more progress than Forked Fate. I think Forked Fate's just a little easier overall. And then here is where I'm at with all my units. Pretty good. A lot of these units, as you can see, have a lot of stars that are fully starred out, which is great. I'm almost at the 25 Ascended mark, which is where you can actually take copies of your units that you have maxed out already. So let's say Rowan, for example. And if you have more copies of them, you can actually kind of star them up even further. The stars will change colors if you're familiar with the classic version. Sort of like that. But it's like one star at a time will change color. And basically, every time you do this, it'll give you a little stat boost. Nothing else. And from what I understand, the stat boost is not significant at all. But you can't do this until you have 25 Ascended units. So almost there, as you can see, but still not there yet. My Taylene is who I've been focusing on with my card pulls so far. So feel pretty good about her. I'm getting close to having her ascended. I need 3 more copies, unfortunately, so I'm kind of at that 4 copy mark. And then Athalia, I've actually never pulled for. I just have gotten 3 copies of her, 4, just from pulling. I got lucky with normal pulls, and I got copies of her, so that's where I'm at. As you probably know, I already have Awakened Solace, which has been a huge help on my account, especially with PvP and the Wilder Tree. But overall, just good with a lot of things, a lot of parts of the game. And then I think that's really the big components of my account. I don't think there's really anything else to show. I guess one thing that I could mention is with Shaltir. She's the one I've been using my kind of armor upgrades on. So you can see here, it's T1. Basically, if you don't know how to do this, you need to get an armor that is the same faction as your unit, Mythic, and then max it out. And then when you max it out, you can go ahead and strengthen it, and you can use these stones here, which will turn it into a specific piece of equipment for your unit. So you can see here as Shaltir. That doesn't mean no one else can equip it, but Shaltir is obviously the only one to get this active bonus down here. So that's where I'm at. I have let's see. I have some guild stones coins saved up to buy some of these, but I don't have any equipment that I think is really worth upgrading yet. None. I don't have any on him. I could do Leica's, but I just feel like she's not worth it. I'm probably gonna wait until I get one on a unit that I'm really excited about to do it, but at this point, I just don't have any that matches that. So that's my account. That is my update on my account. I switched guilds recently just because my previous guild, more and more people are kind of going AFK and want to be in a part of one that has a little more activity. So that's been great, and yeah, that's about it. No other huge updates on my main account besides that. So the other thing I wanted to mention is, if you haven't noticed, recently I haven't been making videos quite as often. It's kind of slowed down, and part of that is because there just isn't as much content to kind of talk about anymore. When I first started, there was a lot of content out there. I could just kind of push through a lot of stuff, and there's still some stuff I want to do eventually. But as far as like events go or changes, there's just not a ton, and so I don't really find myself needing to make content every other day anymore. It's more like 3 or 4 days at this point, depending on how busy it is with stuff. But there's just, I made a Depth of Time 3 one, made one for, what is this event called? Vault of Time, and just a bunch of other stuff. I think I will eventually, hopefully, make a hero overview of every single hero in the game. That is like my long-term goal, but it's just kind of takes a bit of time, and those aren't my favorite videos to make. So I'll probably kind of throw a few of these out here from time to time, just for people can kind of look them up and see, like, okay, what's the hero overview of Leica or Damon or whoever. So that's one thing I have in mind. But the actual like point of what I'm talking about now is I started another channel where I am exclusively talking about just gaming in general. I have one video about mobile gaming. I have 2 other ones that are reviews on AFK Journey and another mobile game that I kind of tried out for a few days. And so I think it's just going to be a hodgepodge of me reviewing, trying different games, kind of sharing my thoughts on them, my experience with them, sharing general video game stuff, not even like necessarily mobile gaming, but just other gaming stuff as a whole. And so if you want to check that out, I'll leave it in the description below. It's tab B for Baconator. I don't know why I did that. It just came to mind. I'm like, okay, I can kind of put them together, and you can go back and forth between them if you want. But if there is a game that you think I might enjoy, or kind of falls within a similar architect of AFK Arena or Companions, let me know. You can put it in the comments, and I'll maybe check it out, play it on my phone for a week or so, and then make a review over the game. To be fair, if I don't like it, I'm going to say I don't like it. So if you maybe are a little sensitive to that, keep that in mind. But obviously, I give pros and cons of the games and kind of just leave my honest review of my thoughts of the game that I try out. So if that's interesting to you, make sure you check out my other account. I have a few videos posted already, like I mentioned. One of them has a decent amount of not likes, but views. The other 2, not so much, but just kind of starting out, seeing what happens with it. Because right now I just don't have enough content that I need to make videos and companions anymore. And so I just think having another channel where I can just make videos about games that I like playing and stuff, it just sounds fun, and something else I can do on the side when I'm not doing stuff for companions. So make sure you check that out if that sounds like it would be interesting to you. All right, so the last thing I want to touch on, I'm going big screen for this because I think it's pretty important, is as of earlier today, people on the test server have been able to see what kind of the background of the Arthur event is going to be for the new Dimensional. And unfortunately, there's some potentially bad news that has come out with it. Pretty much, you can't, unless you spend money, you won't have enough of anything to unlock him, because it's a totally different like event compared to the other Dimensionals. You don't just get the copies of them, then you kind of pull for more shards to level them up. You basically have to get keys, which will then give you some gems, and then you get enough gems and you can unlock Arthur. And when you unlock him, he's in the base, like, lowest level state possible. So he will look like Ainz is now, minus the plus. He won't be Elite Plus, he'll just be Elite. So you'll get him like this, and you already have to spend money to get a copy like that. And then you got to spend probably 3 or 4 times as much to even get him ascended, which, from what I've read, and I don't have access to the test server. Every time I try, it glitches out, so I can't actually check it out. But from what I've read and what people are communicating, it could cost over $1,000 total to unlock him and get him to ascended. And that's ascended without all the stars too, which is really unfortunate, because I think something that people have kind of thought with bringing some of these dimensional heroes back is that a lot of them will just be free, and then if you save enough, scrolls for them, you can kind of level them up as much as you can. And if you want to spend money to get them even further, like that's fine. And that's how they kind of get their money. But now, like going to a system where you have to pay to even get a unit to begin with just feels pretty crummy, honestly. And if you don't spend money in the game, it's going to feel horrible. And if you do, I would encourage you to not spend money when doing this event, just to kind of send a message to Lilith that events like this we aren't going to be supporting. Now, if you want to spend money on monthly passes or anything else in the game, like that's your prerogative. I don't really care. I'm not like anti-spending money in this, but when it's like general content is paywalled, it just feels bad for everyone. But also, I don't even know if Arthur's going to be that good where he's worth spending money. I think he could be decent, but he's definitely not like a Shaw tier where he's going to be broken, from what I understand, or from what I have kind of looked at. So that's just my 2 cents. I think it's really disappointing. Who knows? Maybe they just haven't tweaked some numbers. Maybe they'll hear about the feedback that people have been given, and they will go ahead and make some changes right before the event comes out. Things could change. The event is not official. The test server, while it is testing the things that will be coming out, it is not always 110% official. It could be changed at the last minute. But I think we kind of see where this is going. And if you've enjoyed Companions like I have, I don't want the game to become a giant money sink again. It's already kind of been that way with the Stargazing Room, which I've already been very vocal about and just not approving of, like how dumb this system is, how you can't get any Celestials or Hypogenes without spending money or waiting a very long time. And so I would hate for them to do what they did with Stargazing and put it into another system in the game, because it's going to keep pushing people away. People aren't going to want to stay. People aren't going to play. It's just going to be literally whales. And I feel like a lot of the whales are kind of annoyed by it too. And so that's my 2 cents. If you want to send a message, don't buy it. I honestly think it could be hundreds of dollars just to unlock Arthur, not even upgrading, which is absurd. That's insane if that's true. I could be wrong. Like I said before, this isn't 100% accurate or true all the time. But if it is, that's an insane amount of money for that. So I just wanted to throw that out there. I want to keep this game fun and real and like not totally paywalled. I want people to be able to play it like my second account and just, mess around, have fun, not feel the need to spend money if they don't want to, and enjoy the game. While others who want to spend money, they can do that too. But I think this is just a step in the bad direction. And the game's so new already, even though it's a remastered game pretty much. It would be unfortunate to see it kind of just sink and be done with. So that's my thoughts though for today, guys. Not a really like specific message I wanted to go for, but just wanted to share my thoughts and opinions on a few things. And as always, I hope you guys have a great rest of your day, and I appreciate you all, and thanks for watching. Peace.